right. What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36 with fifth quarter college football, FSU fifth quarter college football in particular, and Did Media Group here with Lamont Glenn Jr., more affectionately known to FSU fans who have got a chance to see him grow up through the years, aka Boots is what we call him. What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. It's the summer, man. You getting after it, getting the workouts in?
Hell yeah, my head coach been going crazy with the summer workouts.
All right, man. Before we get into, what's going on with you right now and a lot of these other things, man, we have seen you come up through the years, and man, I'm gonna tell you this much, man. Puberty has blessed you, man. You look, when I saw you in the spring, at a spring practice, and just even the pictures, man, you look night and day from the first time your dad posted you up there when you was just really long and lanky. How much you weighing right now?
About around like 230, like 225 to 230.
Okay, awesome, man. And your dad had you doing some crazy workouts, man, back in the day, man. I was kind of like, man, is this borderline safe for child abuse? But there was a method to the madness, man. So before we get into all that, what's it like having a dad who went through the process that you're going through and can help guide you?
If I had to put it one way, well, he made things a lot easier than it would have been for like a normal person. Like, he gives me hints. He tells me what works. He tells me what I need to do and what I should be doing. Where a lot of kids, they don't have that, so it's kind of like harder for them. So, a very great asset to have when trying to make it to college football.
Awesome. So you haven't. So you're taking you accept it. You ain't trying to buck back on your dad and be like, man, you don't know what you're doing, old man. You're listening to wise counsel on that.
Yeah, it's just like he done been to college in the NFL, and he done he coached some teams to like championships. So what do I look like saying you don't know what you're talking about? So,
oh man, that's awesome, man. That's great, man.
He's only trying to help, so there's no point to deny his aid. So
nice, man. That's smart, man. Follow your dad, man. He's gonna make sure he helps you get you where you're at. He's gonna help, in the long run. So obviously you've been committed to Florida State. You've been committed to Florida State for quite some time. Was that kind of one of those things where you came out the womb and like you already knew if that offer came, like ain't no other offers matter? Or did dad kind of push you there? Or is it just kind of like, all right, this is just truly the right fit for me?
It was kind of like that third option, because at first, before I went to like all the camps stuff, be like, all right, whatever school offers me, I'm gonna look at that. I'm not sworn into like going to Florida State, but after I met with the coaches, saw the traditions, after I like saw the stadium, how the town is, then I started leaning towards Florida State. Then father got connections out there, Coach Odell, people of the like, so. After scoping them out, I decided that's where I want to go. So it wasn't like just because my dad went there, I'm going there type deal.
This is Lamont Green Jr., aka Boots, to FSU fans. Class of 2023 commit. Feels like he's been around forever. He's finally getting that opportunity to go into his senior year. What has it been like the offseason getting prepared going into your senior year in this last spring? What are some of the things that you that have stood out, or some of the things that you're enjoying about the process?
As a senior, it feels nice to bully the little ones around and like share my knowledge with the younger kids, and feels nice to know that I'm almost there. Like all my hard work is about to pay off, like making it to college.
When did you actually first get your official offer from Florida State, and what went into the commitment? Did you call Coach Norvell? Did you just send a text to Odell or one of those guys, or how did that play out?
I actually got the Florida State offer on my birthday. So Coach Odell had called me. We were talking, and then he had said, we're going to offer you as a little birthday present.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. Did you call Coach Norvell to tell him that about the commitment, or did you tell Odell when you went through it?
At first I had consulted my dad about it, and then we made a joint call, which not a joint call. I had called, I can't remember if I called Odell or Norvell. It was either one of the two. It was probably Coach Norvell.
Okay. So one of the things that everybody loves in recruiting is what's going on and getting updates. Florida State had an elite camp. camp over the weekend, which I've heard nothing but good things about. We had Luke Cromenhawk, class of 2024 quarterback commit on a couple days ago. What were your impressions of the elite camp and the level of talent that you saw there?
From what I saw with the other D linemen, if we can get any of them, if not all of them, Florida State will be on a very good path because everybody there had a good amount of talent. Jordan Hall, a lot of power, a lot of moves, very, how do I say this? Go with his hands. So if we got him at Florida State, that'd be great. I didn't catch the names of the other guys, but I do know that they did look pretty good on the one-on-ones. As for the lineman, his name keeps slipping my head, but his number at the camp was 77. He was really good. He was offensive lineman. He gave everybody a run for their money.
Yeah, we saw some things from you, man. Some of the highlights that went online and internet, man. That first step that you got is, I ain't gonna lie, man, it's pretty impressive. So when I'm looking at defensive players, I'm looking at it from an offensive guy. And as a fullback back in the day, we used to have to kick you guys out. And I told somebody, I said, man, as low as he is off the ground, that's pretty tough to kind of come at and get a guy. Is that just something you kind of naturally got, or is that something that you had to work on? Because, I mean, it's pretty, the first step quickness is pretty impressive.
Well, as for like the first step, I had to kind of work on that. I kind of had to like get people's hints and like pointers. Something like during the camp, they said with my stance, I probably have to shorten it so that my first step can go past where my hand is. So I had to work on the stance to be able to get that long first step. As for how low I was, it kind of happened naturally. Like, you know, they always tell you to stay low. I always tell you to stay low for like shuffling or like just going under like the shoot or anything. So with that, I was able to naturally get lower. So yeah, it came naturally.
Well, we saw that there was also got reports that there was some fun things that happened in the camp. Are you good at basketball? Were you able to play the shootout game and last very long? Nah, that wasn't your thing.
Nah, I'm not good at basketball. Best I can give you was a layup.
All right, well, fair enough. What was it like meeting with the coaches that are going to develop you? So what's JP like?
JP, lot of him and Coach Odell, like a lot of fundamentals. They don't like just throw you in one-on-ones or anything like that. They want you to work on fundamentals. They want to see it inside the game or in live action. Very fundamental person. He'll look at the film and figure out any way he can help you, make you better. You
talked about Jordan Hall. You talked about some of the other guys. What's the difference when you see at these camps and you see the talent level kind of around you? What's the mentality that you take in to try to be able to show up and stand out?
Well, whenever I go to an elite camp like that, like a very big camp, usually, you know, everybody wants to have like multiple moves, but I'll boil it down to like my best moves, like what's going to be most effective rather than just trying out anything. And then I'll usually like look more at what the offensive linemen are doing with people that go before me and seeing like what would be most effective to them. So like I'll size up, I'll pre-plan inside my head all the pretty much the normal stuff that you think about.
Got Lamont Green Jr. here, aka Boots, Florida class of 2023 Florida State commit, Seminole legacy. Dad played during the dynasty era, the heyday. Florida State was rocking. Doak Campbell Stadium, 85,000 full. What has he told you about his experiences and Doak in playing at FSU in relation to what it is that you kind of see now? Things have kind of calmed down a little bit from when he played. Has he shared any of the experiences or what it was like playing college football?
He was a beast. He said everybody on his team at the time was epic. He said he always talks about how that was probably like one of the best years Florida State has ever had while he was there. He always considers it an honor to even be on that team. So yeah, he said compared to then, he said his team will probably do it to the current team, but you know, old pride goes hard.
I've said that before too. I've seen some guys at a camp, and I told them we were mercy rule. And then to be honest with you, it's got nothing to do with the athleticism. These guys are way more athletic than what we were back then, but mentality, we're a little hungrier. It was just different. That's all I can tell people is just that
A bit
the
rough.
physicality, iron sharpens iron, that type of mentality. Not wanting to duck the top competition, wanting to be around there. And you kind of shared some of those things. One of the things that you said that was very impressive is that if we could get everybody who was at this elite camp or just a couple of them, we're going to be all right. So whereas you see some kids be like, yeah, I may not want to go here because this guy's going here. Back then, that was why you wanted to go to Florida State, because the best of the best were there. And if you could start, that means you more than likely had a chance to go to the NFL. So what can you tell people, FSU fans? Obviously, this 2022 season has to play itself out, but the 2023, 2024 classes are the future when you're going to get there. What are some of the things that you have seen from the guys who are currently committed in the relationships that you have, and some of the guys that you think are coming that could give FSU fans the hope that you're going to bring it back to the days of when your father played?
Well, CP, like everybody already knows CP. He has a beautiful arm. Like as for a quarterback, he'll do the offense very well. As for defense, me, Jordan Hall, well, if he wants to go to Florida State, a few others. I'm very bad at remembering names, but like with the other commits, like we got a recent one. Was he a wide receiver?
Yeah, wide receiver.
Yeah. Saw some of his film. If we get more people like him, 2023 and so on will be all right.
Is the plan to come in and take a spot, or is the plan to come in and just get in where you fit in? What's the mentality of you going into this? So finishing your senior year, and then what is the thoughts of when you sign the dotted line for the class of 23?
Well, the game plan is to try my best to get a starting position. I mean, somebody could say they're satisfied with getting in, but that wouldn't satisfy me. I want to start. Start being a starting freshman is something crazy, and I just want to do something like that.
Are you going to early enroll, or are you going to be a guy who comes in the summer?
Most likely, I will be early enrolling.
All right, well, there you go. Get that jump start on it. Get in that weight room with Coach Storms, and continue working and obviously having a father who's been around and knows the things. I'm sure he's gonna have a big smile when you finally put pen to paper. Nothing else, man. Listen, man, a few words wants to go out here and just make things happen. And again, anytime we can get a legacy, that's dope. Actually, I tell your father all the time that, man, watching you grow up is a dope thing as a guy who has kids, has sons as well. I hope that my sons can be. I hope I can be looked at as crazy as your dad looked at when he was taking you through the stuff. That my sons get an opportunity to be able to play, but that's an awesome thing. Make sure you hook them up for Father's Day, man. Give them a good hug, show them some love. I know we don't really like that kind of that emotional stuff like that sometimes, but we act like that, but we do secretly. We do low key like that stuff, man. But continue to be a good kid, get them grades right, man. Have an awesome season. We'll stay in communication. We definitely gonna be looking at you, looking forward to seeing you in the Garden and Gold here shortly, man. I appreciate you taking a little bit of time to chop it up with me. Go Noles.
So the story is he went after his assistant coaches, called them all losers, and asked them to give examples of how they're winners. The story is Marvin Jones left practice because he got mad about Urban talking bad about the receivers.
OC told him, I'm running this college office because of you. I heard that.
Now the James Robinson, yeah, he lied about that again. We all knew that. What's the problem? Is it not a fair question to go to your coaches and go, what are y'all doing? Now, I probably would have handled it differently.
No, what are you doing is fair. You're all losers. What is your resume? I posted this. You couldn't talk to me like that because I didn't hire myself. You hired me. You hired me because nobody wants to work with you, or you hired me because you know I'm good. Because here's the reality, Urban. Your ass is a loser too. You are a 2-win in the NFL loser with no control over your team. I'm not mad at him.
I like the fact we got a coach doing this.
Right.